got a lot to talk about with UFOs today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, look at this crazy UFO ejecting weird things that fly around and look like smoke rings. What is going on in this video? I mean, honestly, this looks so weird. I kind of have my doubts. I mean, that looks like something that could come out of a video game, but it's just weird enough to make me wonder if this is legit. Now, it's got music playing over it, which doesn't make it sound more legitimate, at least to me. But it is interesting. It is an interesting video of whatever the heck that is, doing weird, funky things and ejecting stuff, which UFOs do, but I've never seen a UFO do that before. Ejecting stuff that does various things or becomes various things, wispy things that dart away, O-rings. Yeah, this is a weird one, guys. I don't know what to make of this one. Again, I'm not saying this is legit, but it is just weird enough to might be legit. So let me know what you think about this really intriguing video. And thanks to Wixie for posting this. Meanwhile, Eric Burleson over at the Soul Foundation, or talking with the Soul Foundation, is describing some of the pushback that Congress is getting for trying to advance the UFO cause.
If anything, it's usually the pushback is a paperwork process. So, we just got denied a request today, and we're going to have to look at how do we address it? Do we issue a subpoena? So I'm not getting direct pushback from leadership. We did at one point with a committee chairman, but the speaker seems to be agnostic, or really he's not trying to stop us from getting access to this information. And the White House has been, the limited conversations I've had with the White House have been at least somewhat, have been successful and somewhat supportive of the topic.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, I did a piece last week talking about Michael Herrera's thoughts on some of this, that there are agents of the control group embedded in Congress as staffers that will whisper in the ear of certain Congress people, either, threats or, bribes, whatever the case may be. But then, I don't know if that's true or not. Eric certainly doesn't allude to any of that. Of course, I don't expect that he would if any of that were true. But if that is true, we also have the light side staffers like David Grush, who is one of Eric Burleson's own personal staffers and is assisting Congress in trying to bring forward UFO whistleblowers and witnesses for the next UFO hearing that I am very excited and hopeful about. I mean, we'll see if they're able to bring any of these people forward. Mike Herrera and Matthew Brown have talked about how difficult it has been to come forward. And I think that we need to make it easier for people to come forward, whether that's legally or financially, giving them some sort of a fund to draw on when their, clearances are severed and they're fired and so on. So, I think there's probably various things that we can do. But if there are agents whispering in the ear of Congress people, that's a different level. So, some other power needs to step in and help out with that if that is the case. But let me know what you think about that. Interesting that Eric is discussing the pushback. Meanwhile, Trevor Grassi is talking about the Giza megastructure. And this is really interesting. This is a Japanese a study, I think back in the 80s, that he's talking about, that seems to corroborate at least part of the information about the Giza megastructure. This is pretty cool, guys. I am so excited about the Giza megastructure. I think that is like the coolest thing, or one of the coolest things going right now. I can't wait for the next shoe to drop. And so let's listen to Trevor talk about this possible corroboration from this Japanese team.
Scans. And these came out, and they also showed this large chamber underneath and this tunnel coming out the back, and the chamber below the front paws as well. These were seismic surveys done by the Japanese team from Waseda University This was in 1987, I believe. Yeah. And this is another top image from that. And look, they had discovered this tunnel coming back. They're even giving it to credit to the shore team, which is great. So yeah, we need to excavate. We need to excavate these things. We got to find this tunnel connecting all the way between and get inside of it, because I guarantee this tunnel is going to go straight over to the Khafre pyramid, and that's where we're seeing immense tubes going down to huge structures. So
yeah, so that is possible corroboration that this tunnel that this Japanese team discovered in the 80s leads over to the tunnels connected to the Giza megastructure. This is such an exciting discovery that this Italian team made of this superstructure, or multiple structures. They even call it an underground city because all these things are linked together by underground tunnels. Beneath the Giza Plateau and beneath the Great Pyramid and the other pyramids in the Sphinx as well. Well, there's no chance that the ancient Egyptians, with the tools that we know that they had, built that. Either they had help or else somebody else built this. I'm not saying aliens. I'm saying, of course, Atlanteans, some prehistoric, unknown, but highly advanced race of human beings. You don't have to think of them as Atlanteans. Just think of that as a placeholder name for this prehistoric advanced civilization that may have created this massive megastructure beneath the Giza Plateau. And it's really cool that we have possible, partial corroboration from that Japanese team and that seismic survey back in the 80s. That is super cool. Again, I can't wait for the next shoe to drop for this to be confirmed. This could be Atlantis disclosure, guys. That is just so damn cool. Meanwhile, sad to report that Tim Burchett is not doing so well after getting kicked by a horse. Of course he would. Of course Tim Burchett would get kicked by a horse on Sunday. He got a broken rib. Went to the hospital. While working on his farm over the weekend, Congressman Burchett was accidentally kicked by a horse. Well, I mean, I don't think he did it on purpose. I don't think he had to insert accidentally in there. He suffered a broken rib and bruising, but hasn't missed a beat. And indeed, Tim is out tweeting. He says, "It's no big deal. Pray for our country." And there he is. I guess that's the horse in question, the villainous horse. But yeah, horse is doing his thing. Of course. And Tim is not missing a beat. And I don't think he has. There's been no change to his schedule. Per Politico. So very, very good. Meanwhile, Yuri Geller is talking about the doomsday meteor. The truth about those hostile alien headlines. Friends, I'm sure you have all seen the recent headlines. Astronomers have discovered a hostile alien object that is hurtling toward Earth. A 12-mile wide anomaly that's deliberately hiding from detection. Doing a bad job since they detected it. Let me tell you now, these reports are not what they seem. They have a hidden agenda. Let me explain. As I've told you before, back in the 1970s, I was invited to meet Werner von Braun, the father of modern rocket science. He took me into his office, opened a safe, and showed me something extraordinary, fragments of a craft that was not from this earth. But he didn't tell me that at first. Instead, he just asked me to hold them and use my extrasensory abilities to tune in, read them, and explain what I sensed and picked up from them. As soon as I touched those pieces, I knew they were not from here. I also knew, as I tuned into the samples, that they weren't made with or from any ordinary kind of metal, because they felt alive, as if they were breathing. And the sensation I got was one of connection, not coldness. Instead, I felt an abiding sense of a vast knowledge, wisdom, and understanding beyond anything we could ever comprehend. I shared all of this with von Braun and it was only then that he told me they had been recovered from a crashed UFO. I believe that the material he gave me to hold in the larger craft they came from must have been created, whether it was built or perhaps even grown, with an innate merged consciousness, some kind of synthetic biological intelligence. And I believe the craft these beings traveled in were not machines in the way we understand them. They were living entities linked directly to the minds of their occupants, which of course is what countless experiencers have said, many of which have even flown the craft. And if what I felt from those samples was telepathically linked with the consciousness of those pilots, then I am absolutely sure that aliens themselves shared the same mental signatures. After asking me to read the samples of metal from the craft, Von Braun took me to a refrigerated room beneath a secure NASA-owned building, where he showed me clear coffin-like containers that held the mangled bodies of the craft's occupants. Again, I tried to tune in, and the strongest impression I got from them was that they were like scientists or historians. I felt like they had come here to observe, and perhaps even to maybe help us in some way. So why all these hostile alien object headlines now? Before he died, Von Braun confided in his assistant, Dr. Carol Rosen. He told her there was a long-term plan to create a series of fake threats to justify space militarization. And the final one would be an alien threat or invasion, the in-game global control. So obviously that's Project Bluebeam. Von Braun was talking about that with Yuri Geller. I believe this was in the 70s, something like that. So yeah, Project Bluebeam has been around for a long time. Is that what this new meteor is all about? Is it, disinformation designed to make us fearful? Well, some are pointing back to this clip from Jeremy Corbell.
But the lie is coming. All indications, like all of them, is that that lie is going to be that there is a craft slowly making its way to us here on Earth. And that is the lie they're going to want you to believe. It's nuanced how they explain that.
So yeah, is the narrative over Three Eye Atlas what Jeremy Corbell was talking about back in the day? And potentially what Werner von Braun was telling Yuri Geller about, or at least his assistant Carol. Personally, I'm not seeing a coordinated media effort to bring out that narrative about Three Eye Atlas, so I don't think so. But let me know your thoughts about that in the comments below. Meanwhile, here's an awesome orb video shared by Peter Maxwell Slattery from Jaya Sanctuary. Check this out. I'll play the sound.
Beautiful.
Just kind of booking along through the skies over Jaya Sanctuary, where he does regular CE5 events. And if you're ever in Australia, or if you live there now, you might give it a shot. Go over to Jaya Sanctuary and see if you can see a UFO with Peter. And this is interesting and potentially alarming. Something that happened in Japan just a few days ago, per Ronnie Vernet. According to former Japan's Congressman Askawa, I nailed that. 3 UFOs hovered over the Genkei nuclear plant on July 26, and the government office is openly discussing the incident. The media replaced the term drones used in the initial report with unidentified lights. So here we go. 3 lights resembling drones were observed in the airspace above the Kyushu Electric Power Genkei nuclear power plant in Saga Prefecture. These lights were witnessed by 4 security guards at the power plant and resident police officers. Subsequently, it was confirmed through visual observation and surveillance cameras that the lights had disappeared from the power plant premises. There were no abnormalities in the power plant's equipment or radiation levels, and no safety issues have been reported. So yeah, is this another incident of the mystery drones? Is that what we're dealing with? Or is this, just regular old UFOs being interested in nukes, as they always are? Let me know your thoughts. Hopefully we'll get more information as this investigation continues. Meanwhile, Dr. Dan is reviving an old debunk of the Tic Tac incident from 2004. This is kind of a weird debunk to my mind, but I'll, read it to you. The Tic Tac UFO was an alien. It was LASH, a DARPA Lockheed literal airborne sensor hyperspectral craft, an aerostat tethered to a sub, tested off San Diego in 2004. So says tech researcher Joshua Bertrand. Skeptical? Me too, says Dr. Dan. Commander Fravor, his jet didn't chase the Tic Tac, it disturbed it. Joshua Bertrand says the object, a LASH aerostat tethered to a sub, was caught in the F-18's bow shock, causing the ping-pong motion and mirroring. A compelling theory or a skeptic's tidy puzzle. Or total disinformation. I mean, there were 100 of these things going from space to sea level in a second without creating a sonic boom. They vanished in the direction of Catalina Island after a week. One of them got into this, dogfight with Commander Fravor, and then met his rendezvous point, his cap point. This is just the weirdest, laziest debunk, and it was kind of funny, so I had to bring it to your attention. Last but not least, this guy wanted to adopt one kitten, but it wouldn't be separated from the other. So he had to adopt both. So there you go, guys. A happy ending for these 2 kittens. Let me know what you think about this awesome cat owner and his awesome kittens and everything else covered today in the comments below. Let me know what you think about it all. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be noted of future videos. You don't miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. I'd love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.